What if the real comfort in summer isn't just cooling, but surviving those sudden power cuts that turn your home into an oven? Today we're breaking down the top 5 best ACs for frequent outages. Check links below for details. Number 5, YLEOOB 16,000 BTU. There's something almost brutal about a summer blackout. One moment, everything feels normal. And the next, the fans stop, the air turns heavy, and the room slowly starts trapping heat like a sealed box. For many homes, especially larger rooms, that's the exact moment when most cooling systems give up, but the YLEOOB 16,000 BTU doesn't behave like most systems. This is built for situations where power isn't stable and comfort can't wait. The first thing you notice is how aggressively it pushes airflow. It doesn't gently cool the room it reaches across it, spreading cold air fast enough to push back rising temperatures before they settle into the walls and furniture. In bigger bedrooms, apartments, or shared living spaces, that speed changes everything. Instead of waiting in discomfort, the environment shifts noticeably within a short time. Then comes one of the most underrated advantages: its drainage-free design. In humid conditions, portable ACs usually become a maintenance headache, constantly demanding attention. This one quietly removes that stress, letting the system handle moisture without turning it into a daily chore. At night, things get even more interesting. The low-noise sleep mode takes the edge off the machine's operation. Instead of hearing a constant mechanical hum that reminds you of the heat outside, the sound fades into the background, letting sleep actually feel uninterrupted. And then there's the Wi-Fi control. During unstable power conditions, that feature becomes more than convenient, it becomes control. You can restart, adjust, or fine-tune settings directly from your phone without getting up every time the power flickers. Compared to smaller portable units that struggle once a room gets too large, the YLEOOB holds its ground with consistency. It's not just about cooling, it's about maintaining stability when everything else isn't. Number 4, DREO 12,000 BTU. Some air conditioners cool a room. Others change how a room feels during chaos. The DREO Portable 12,000 BTU falls into that second category. When power cuts hit repeatedly, the real problem isn't just heat, it's uneven, suffocating heat that lingers in corners and builds up silently. This unit addresses that by pushing cooling deeper into the room instead of just blasting one direction. The result is a more balanced environment, less cold spot and hot spot, more uniform comfort. For people living through unstable electricity, every detail matters. That's where its drainage-free system quietly becomes important again. Instead of worrying about water buildup or constant emptying, the experience stays simple and uninterrupted. Then there's the sound. At around 45 dB, it stays low enough to avoid dominating the room. Whether you're trying to sleep, work, or just sit in silence while waiting for electricity to return, it doesn't add to the stress. Smart controls take it further. Voice commands and app-based adjustments mean you don't have to constantly interact with the machine physically. During unpredictable outages, that convenience becomes surprisingly valuable. Compared to larger AC units, the DREO doesn't try to dominate huge spaces, but what it does offer is balance. It feels practical, stable, and designed for everyday life, where interruptions are normal. It may not be the most powerful in the lineup, but it feels like one of the most controlled experiences. Number 3, Augsmile 16,000 BTU. There are moments in summer when a room stops feeling like a room. It starts feeling like pressure. Heat builds fast, air becomes still, and even sitting down feels uncomfortable. That's where the Augsmile 16,000 BTU steps in, not gently, but decisively. This unit is built for larger spaces that demand stronger response. The airflow isn't subtle, it spreads across wide areas with enough strength to break through that heavy, stagnant air feeling. and once it starts working, the difference is immediate. But what truly stands out is how quiet it stays while doing it. At around 40 dB, it creates a kind of silence that feels intentional. You can sleep, focus, or simply exist in the room without being reminded that a machine is running in the background. Then comes versatility. This isn't just cooling. It's a full 5-in-1 system: cooling, dehumidifying, air circulation, sleep support, and energy-saving scheduling, all working together in one unit. That combination matters when power cuts force you to depend on a single appliance for everything. Wi-Fi control adds another layer of ease. You can adjust settings before even stepping into the room, which feels especially useful during unpredictable weather and unstable electricity patterns. Compared to compact, portable ACs, the Augsmile is clearly built for more demanding environments. It takes more space, yes, but it also gives back far more coverage and control. Quick moment here. If you're planning to get any of these ACs, check the links in the description. They usually have updated pricing and availability, and it can save you from picking the wrong size for your room. This is the kind of unit that doesn't just cool a space, it reshapes how that space feels during extreme heat. Number 2, FO-KOKO 5200 BTU. Not every situation needs a giant machine. Sometimes what you really need is something that works where bigger systems can't even function. The FO-KOKO 5200 BTU is designed exactly for that reality. Think about tents during camping trips, RV interiors, small rooms, or vans during long travel stops. These spaces don't just heat up, they trap heat aggressively, especially when power access is limited or completely dependent on backup systems. That's where this compact unit makes sense. Instead of demanding high electricity, it focuses on efficiency. It's compatible with power stations and EV power sources, making it useful in situations where traditional AC units would simply be impossible to run. Its dual-loop water cooling technology is what gives it an edge in small environments. The cooling feels focused and immediate, quickly reducing discomfort in tight spaces where air circulation is limited. And because it's designed for mobility, it doesn't lock you into one environment. You can move it, reposition it, or take it along depending on where comfort is needed most. The sleep mode keeps things quiet enough for rest, which becomes crucial in outdoor or temporary setups where silence is already rare. Of course, it's important to be realistic. This isn't made for large living rooms or open halls. It won't compete there, but it was never trying to. Instead, it focuses on giving reliable personal cooling, where power limitations usually make cooling impossible. For travelers, campers, and anyone relying on backup energy setups, this becomes less of a luxury and more of a practical necessity. Number 1, DOMANKI 14,000 BTU. Some ACs cool a room. Others restore control when everything outside feels unpredictable. The DOMANKI 14,000 BTU belongs to that second category, and this is exactly why it takes the top spot. When the heat becomes unbearable and power cuts interrupt the day without warning, the biggest challenge isn't just temperature, it's consistency. It's knowing that once the act starts, it won't struggle, hesitate, or require constant attention. This unit is designed with that expectation in mind. It delivers strong cooling coverage for spaces up to 700 square feet, making it suitable for larger rooms where heat normally lingers the longest. Instead of uneven performance, it spreads cooling more evenly across the space, helping the entire room stabilize. One of its strongest advantages is the self-evaporating system. That means less maintenance, fewer interruptions, and a smoother daily experience, especially important when power cuts already disrupt routine life. Multiple smart modes allow it to adapt throughout the day. Whether it's daytime heat or nighttime rest, it adjusts without needing constant manual control. At night, the sleep mode keeps operation quiet enough to avoid disturbance, creating a more stable environment for rest even when outdoor temperatures remain high. The remote control and intuitive interface make it accessible for everyone, no complicated setup, no confusion, just straightforward operation. Compared to smaller portable AC units, the DOMANKI clearly leans toward broader performance and reliability. It does take more space, but what it delivers in return is consistency across different conditions. And that's what makes it stand out. Because during frequent power cuts, the real value of an AC isn't just cooling power, it's dependability when everything else stops. So that was the top 5 best AC for areas with frequent power cuts. From compact, travel-friendly cooling to powerful room-wide systems, each of these units solves a different kind of struggle, but the goal is the same: staying comfortable when the power isn't stable. All product links are in the description below, so you can check details before choosing what fits your space best. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more real-world buying guides like this. Because the right choice doesn't just cool your room, it changes how you experience summer. See you in the next one.